It's way too early. It's way too early for this shit. Well, my raggedy husband got me up this early.
Put it in the air, put it in the air. Everywhere I'm at, eyes on low, what I'm up there. Put it in the air, put it in the air. Put it in the air, put it in the air. We rolling up with stickers. Everywhere I'm at, smoke in the air. Yeah, she on the mid, we on the boat. I want the bag, give me the cash.
Raggedy as fuck, bitch.
Put it in the air, put it in the air. We rolling up with stickers. Everywhere I'm at, smoke in the air. We rolling up with stickers. Y'all niggas be switching. Right now, sit back and listen. The whole team of attention. Jack white nigga on gremlin. When I hit the black nigga, it's a collision. Just like a gremlin. We got some minute joints in the air. We do not care. So we on the left. We smoking rap. So you need a tap. Let's go. The Z-Man. The best time for the season.
Stop, honey. I will never feel bad for nobody. Disrespectful trick, whole ass. Disrespectful.
Hey, shouting on super straight. I got the Mary J. That be my ace. You can add me to the race. Put on the gas, so get out the way.
I'll never bow down to none of these bitches. How dare you have a dick about for disrespect?
When I get mad, I roll up the plate. Yeah,
like I give a fuck.
Put it in the air, put it in the air. Put it in the air, put it in the air. Everywhere I'm at. Eyes on low, what I'm up there. Put it in the air, put it in the air. Put it in the air, put it in the air. We rolling up with stickers. Everywhere I'm at, smoke in the air. We on the gas, she on the mid. We on boat. I want the bag, you give me the cash. I want the low. Put it in the air, put it in the air. Put it in the air, put it in the air. We rolling up with stickers. Everywhere I'm at, smoke in the air.
Go in the car, the room, it go down. They come to don't move, smoke come out. 2 all night, yeah, that's my cloud. Club rotations, that's my crowd. You ain't gotta smoke this Cali. Put it in the wood, but she grew it in the valley. Keep on wax on, leaf on tap. I'll turn the team up and rally.
Why you getting commentary?
I had great sister in the blueberry. Mr. Jack, I'm coming with the Mary. This that thing, no air pack, spare me. I got lungs like a motherfucking vacuum. Puff, ash that pass, I'll tax you. That's just fact, no cat, boo. I put it on wax for the past two. It's written on me like a tattoo. Big circle like a battle rapper's tattoo. Like blunts, but I put it in a bag too. Like fronts, but I put it in a bag too. Don't do me. I keep 5 on it like the Loonies.
Get your ass off with a 2-piece. It go 2 beats. So quick, acting brand new like a groupie. And just put it in the air.
Put it in the air. Put it in the air. Put it in the air. Everywhere I'm at. Eyes on low, but I'm up there.
So many others say Jackson's Washington go to wife, you know how that goes.
I'm saying that's what this is all about, right?
What's up, everybody? 5:04 a.m. here in the West Coast. You ain't gotta say too much from the look in your eyes. I know you want another stimulus check. So, with that being said, 5:04 a.m. here in the West Coast, Northern California, Stockton, California, to be exact, baby. Let's go check on y'all government and see what the fuck they got going on with these stimulus checks. And looks like Joe Biden is speaking at NATO today. He did leave the country for a conference that Congress have signed and passed a couple bills in the past week. None of them were the forced stimulus check, though. So as they're dealing with foreign policies and war and etc., and now NATO, United Nations, etc., y'all, I want y'all to keep in mind that the unemployment from the last stimulus check package is only until September. That's only 4 months away. Less than 4 months away. And the $1,200, $600, and $1,400 that we did receive from the stimulus check is not enough to pay rent, much less any utilities or pay rent any type of multiple months throughout 2020. Yes, the funding helped us. No, it wasn't enough to make a major difference with. Some people were able to start home businesses. Some people have a good hot and cold market around them. Um, Other people, you know what I'm saying, are not able to work, are not able to go into the public and do a lot of things. Public transportation's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. What's up, y'all? Hello, Tango. We is over like really quick. I just want to say we only been live for like 5 minutes and we're already over 20 viewers. So thank y'all for tuning in. Again, y'all government don't got our money. So let's see what a couple other YouTubers had to say. Anybody that's been catching any news from the White House.
June 14th, another batch of tax refunds are going out. So make sure you go and look out for that. Yesterday, CNBC came out with another major reason of why tax refunds are delayed. And this might be happening to a lot of you guys. Hi everyone, my name is Gavin. Welcome back to this channel. On this channel, we get to things straight and to the point. We talk about taxes, stimulus, and finance. So if any of that stuff interests you, please go down and hit that subscribe button. Our goal is to hit 100,000 subscribers.
9,067 diamonds before we hit $200 on the cash.
We're talking about the IRS identity fraud crisis. Usually the IRS goes and vets people to see if there is any fraud. You can see, I'll put it up on the screen, the IRS has flagged 5.2 million tax refunds for fraud last year. And that's a 50% increase year over year. Of those, 1.9 million were tagged for identity screening, and we'll get into what that means in a second and how this affects you. In addition to this, 63% of refunds vetted for identity theft turned out to be legitimate. According to the organization, about 18% of flagged refunds took longer than 120 days to arrive. This article says the IRS protected $2.5 billion in losses, but it came with a cost. So let's dive right in. What does this all mean? Essentially what is happening right now is what the IRS does to make sure people don't falsely claim these tax refunds, and they do it similarly with unemployment, or at least states do it similarly with unemployment, is they go out and they send out these two letters. These two letters are the 5017C letter, and I believe the 6331C letter. These are for individuals. These allow individuals to verify their identity and then receive their tax refund. With that said, if you don't send that letter back to the IRS and you did receive it, you cannot receive your tax refund. In addition to this, there's a great article by CNBC that we're going off of here. That article says that a lot of individuals who are having to get vetted have to wait extra months. And as we saw, about 18% of individuals who get vetted have to wait up to 4 months to receive their tax refund. Now, obviously, we know that vetting people for tax refunds and tax refund fraud is important. They've retrieved $2.3 billion from that. But a lot of times it turns out to not be true. As we saw, it was 63% of the time it is wrong. Now, that means also 37% of the time they are right, but not being as efficient has cost a lot of individuals. As far as what you guys can do to make sure you get around this is, if you receive those letters, fill them out, prove your identity, and send it back to the IRS as quickly as possible. If the IRS is asking you to verify your identity, do it as quickly as possible. By doing that, you will have the best chance of receiving your tax refund as soon as possible, and you will be in a lot better position. With that said, that's all I have for you guys today. I appreciate you for watching. Hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.
Yeah, I don't know. He didn't tell me shit. And the next video, 15 minutes long. Oh! This is
if you're
important,
strapped for cash or simply want to take advantage of free money that's available in grants, then I'm going to give you every resource available to get money right now. Yes, even if you're not hurting for money, you may still want to take advantage of some of these opportunities so your competitors don't blow past you and leave you in the dust because they're taking advantage of it.
Come on, yeah. Good morning.
By the time I'm done with this video, there should not be anything else for you to do but to get to work and start completing these applications at the right places. Don't watch any other YouTube video on how to find a small business grant. Don't search for another keyword phrase in Google, because I've already done all of that for you and will give you everything that you need to know now. Hi, my name is Sherman. I'm a CPA and I own 2 companies that help small businesses specifically. In this video, I'm going to tell you exactly where I would go to find money for my business immediately. I'm going to give you the most effective ways to find grants, regardless of the time period. And I'll also go over some of the hot grants related to the COVID recession. I'll tell you what you need to know in order to start applying and the most common mistakes that I see my clients make time and time again when they're searching for funding for their business. Now, if this video helps you in any capacity, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. We're all about helping small businesses grow. So with that said, let's begin. First of all, what is a grant? Let's go ahead and get this out of the way. A grant is simply a sum of money that is given for a particular purpose. It is most commonly given by governments and sometimes other organizations. Now, other organizations, such as nonprofits, are very important because the government frequently provides funding to nonprofit organizations who in turn grant money to small businesses. Now, many people ask me, well, what's the difference between a grant and a loan? It's very simple. A grant does not have to be paid back, and a loan does. Now, if you do not use a grant for the specified purpose, you may be required to pay back the full amount and possibly suffer more consequences. So only apply for grants that are specific to your business needs. Now that that's out of the way, let's talk about the most effective ways to get grants. Generally, the most effective way to receive grant funding is to start where you are. Start with your local city or county government. Then move up to your state and federal government. Local government grants are generally less competitive and also more intentional about serving small businesses in their areas. So let's start with local government first. Now, there are a few different places you can find local grants. Number 1, you can find them at your local small business development center. Number 2, you can find them at your local economic development authority. And then number 3, you can call your elected officials' offices directly to provide you with grant options. Now, let's discuss all of these options, starting with local small business development centers, also referred to as SBDCs. SBDCs are organizations that are funded directly by the government to support small businesses. In addition to SBDCs, the Small Business Administration, more commonly referred to as the SBA, may also have local chapters that address the needs of small businesses in your area as well. To start, just search for local SBDCs in your area and browse their websites. Most will have financial programs and assistance right on their website. For example, I live in Atlanta, Georgia. And when I search for Atlanta Small Business Development Center, this is what shows up. I can browse their website for financial resources or call them directly. Now, I strongly recommend calling these chapters directly, as they may have access to grant programs that are designed specifically for your small business. Now, let's move on to the second tactic, which involves contacting your local economic authority. Most cities or counties have an economic development center. In short, these centers want to create better opportunities for people in their communities. And what do you think is the best way to create those opportunities for people? By creating jobs. And they cannot create jobs without businesses, which is why this is a great place to start to find business grants for your business. These centers spend enormous amounts of time and money finding ways to attract businesses to just simply come to their communities. They provide grants, loans, tax credits, and so much more for businesses to come to their community. They literally bend backwards to spur economic growth in their area. This is practically why Amazon virtually pays no taxes, because of government incentives to bring their corporate business to specific areas. So to find your city's economic authority, just search Google for your city's economic authority. For example, when I search for Atlanta Economic Authority, I find Invest Atlanta. Now, due to Invest Atlanta, I save over $100,000 per year in business taxes through their tax credit programs. But I'll save that for another video. My only point is this stuff is real. So be sure to subscribe to our channel to learn every way to grow your business effectively. Anyway, find your economic development authority. View the programs and call them directly to find grants for your business. Now let's move on to the third tactic, which involves calling on your elected officials directly. As funny as it sounds, calling your elected officials' office is a hack that most for-profit grant companies use to find grants for their customers. Now here's the truth. Government spending in the United States represents 1/3 of total spending in our country. The government themselves is a major contributor to the net worth of our country. This is why corporations spend billions of dollars in lobbying, so they can tap into the government funds and incentives to grow their business. Now, fortunately for small businesses, there are already incentives set aside for you. You just need to know where it is. So to get to the point, this is what you need to do. First, find out what district you're in. You can do this by using a website that I found called openstates.org. Next, just pop in your zip code to find elected officials that specifically serve your area. Lastly, click the official's name and call them directly. A representative from their office will normally answer. When they pick up, just say, "Hi, I'm a small business owner in your district. I'm seeking assistance with obtaining grants and was hoping to gain some information about available grants in this area." I promise, guys, don't be shy about this. These people are in office to serve you. Your tax dollars are being used to fund these programs. So as a citizen of that district, you have every right to inquire on what grants they have available. They will either help you or point you in the right direction. You may also ask them for information about nonprofit organizations that are also giving grants for small businesses. Oftentimes, there are many more organizations that exist than just the SBDC or SBA. For example, East Cooper Community Outreach is a community-based nonprofit in Charleston, South Carolina. They specialize in helping low-income people in their community obtain financial aid. These are the type of organizations that you're probably not going to find searching on Google. But these are also the organizations that you can find by picking up the phone and calling your elected official's office. And here's a major hack. You can also ask them directly for a letter of recommendation to help you obtain specific grants. Yes, elected officials can endorse your company to help you obtain funding. Now, this does not guarantee that you'll get it, but it surely does help. But what do you think about these tips so far? Is it helpful? Let me know in the comments below. If it is, please help me out by hitting the like button below. Now let's move on to state and federal government grants. State grants are generally more competitive than local grants, but what do you have to lose? At the end of the day, this is free money available to people. And as long as you fit the criteria, there's no reason why you should not apply. Okay, now here's how to get started. First, find your state department's economic development authority. This follows the same exact process that I gave you for the local example. When I search for Georgia Economic Development Small Business Grants on Google, it takes me to the exact page where I can view all the loans and grants available for my business. Do the same thing in your state and see what you can find. Once you find your state's economic authority, don't hesitate to call them to get the exact information that you need. I can't emphasize this enough. Pick up the phone and call these people. Remember, they are here to help you. Now, let's talk a little bit about federal grants. Then I'll tell you what you need to do in order to be successful in applying for these type of loans. Now, federal grants, like state grants, are traditionally more competitive due to the amount of businesses applying for them. But right now, this has changed dramatically due to the COVID recession. We've seen the federal government support small businesses like they never have before in effort to stop small businesses from going out of business.
We're gonna watch the rest of this video on mute, but I'm gonna still keep it up so everybody could get the information. But we're gonna listen to instrumentals now, cause honey, I'm about to fall asleep. It's a good, interesting beat to start with. This beat is called Toxic. Y'all, welcome to the smoke session. They told me to get a PPP, y'all. Talking a lot about SBA loans, EDD funding, the forced stimulus check, waiting on Derek Chauvin's sentencing, waiting on Ahmaud Arbery case investigation to proceed, waiting on the footage from Breonna Taylor to be made public. You know what I'm saying? We're still waiting on a lot of things. Ma'Khia Bryant, Adam Toledo, progression is not being as publicly viral and broadcasted and in the media as it should be, for minors to have been killed in the United States. Some things they're basically missing. You know what I'm saying? They're slacking and holding out information on. So, and that's everything, all the way from the forced stimulus check to minors and minorities getting killed in the United States and the sentencing of George Floyd killer and everything. Derek Chauvin and Ahmaud Arbery's case as well. It's just a lot going on. Anyway, so we get on here every day to say this. Please visit change.org and vote.org to use your voice in all of these matters. Change.org has petitions for the causes we believe in. Justice for George Floyd, justice for Ahmaud Arbery, justice for Breonna Taylor, justice for Vanessa Gillen, shut down and restaff Fort Hood, Texas, no more kids in cages, defund the wall, justice for Elijah McClain, justice for Ma'Khia Bryant, and justice for Adam Toledo, justice for the 8 men and women found hanging in the United States since the death of George Floyd, as well as the forced stimulus check. There's currently a stimulus check petition. I believe over 2 million signatures currently on change.org. So y'all, please, if you can, visit change.org and sign these petitions for the forced stimulus check and for George Floyd and Ahmaud Arbery and Breonna Taylor, Ma'Khia Bryant, Adam Toledo, Vanessa Gillen, Elijah McClain, please. There are so many more. Type in, say their name for the hashtags. Y'all, please go make a difference. Also, vote.org. Vote.org for legalizing businesses, community programs, after-school programs, public housing and public transportation, free healthcare clinics, the YMCA, the Boys and Girls Club, Planned Parenthoods, etc., etc. Propositions and politicians running for office as well. That if you are able to vote, please visit vote.org. With that being said, this beat right here is hella boring, and I'll be damned if we kick off the morning like that. So if you do have a small business and or making any type of getting any type of income electronically, even and things like that, I would encourage you to invest that into small business, apply for an SBA loan or a PPP loan or something that's even forgivable, a grant or something you don't have to pay back. Y'all need to definitely look into the type of equipment you've purchased over the past year and last year, and go ahead and file for some type of business funding if you're able to. Things like that. Y'all don't miss out on any type of funding that you may qualify for if you're working, if you're doing things and earning income and things like that. Your business numbers and all of that can be your social security number, okay? Free game. There's ways to do that. Look it up. I'm not going to tell you just to use that as a business number because that's false, but there are ways to register yourself as a self-employed employed worker. Yeah, I don't know what else they got going on, but I don't believe any of the other programs and things they have. Alright, so that was the news section. Y'all make sure to let me know what is you smoking, what flavors are popular in your area, what's brand spanking new, and what is the best of the best of the best served with honors. All of that. And what not to get, what might not be that great. So y'all make sure you let us know in the comments what is you smoking. And join this session with us. If you have not rolled a blunt, made a drink, a cup of coffee, or a sandwich, or fired up a square, whatever it is that you do, now's the time to do so. We're going to look for a couple more updates on the stimulus check. Oh, let me see. Come on. We're gonna try one more video, y'all.
In the Senate? What's been happening lately? A lot of events have unfolded lately, and we have a lot to catch up on. What's going on, everybody? It's Ron here, and today we're going to discuss the new deal, the fourth stimulus check, and the infrastructure package, as well as the next stimulus package. Be sure to subscribe down below so that you don't miss out on the latest videos and daily news. And don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it. Let's go ahead and jump into this. All right, so a bipartisan Senate group of both Republicans and Democrats have declared they have reached an agreement on the infrastructure package, and they now need to get it approved by the rest of the party. Now,
Now, this is really significant for several reasons, which we will discuss. All right, so first is because Senator Joe Manchin and Democratic Senator Kyrsten Sinema, the two wild cards on the Democratic side, and some of the wild cards of the Republican side are in this group that has recently agreed to a deal for the next infrastructure package. Now, this is very beneficial on various levels, as Senator Joe Manchin is the Democratic Party's wild card. He has a tendency to think twice when the Democrats are set to approve a bill via the reconciliation method. Joe Manchin is part of this bipartisan group that agrees on an infrastructure package deal. So if they end up passing this infrastructure package deal, that means they could move on to the next stimulus package, the American Families Plan, even faster. They can pass this bill within days because they don't have to go through the reconciliation process. They draft a bill, vote it out in the House, vote it out in the Senate, and then President Biden signs it. That fast. Now, beyond that, it's even more advantageous for the stimulus and for everyone waiting on stimulus to get this infrastructure package passed with bipartisan support, since the likelihood of passage is 95% to 99% with the reconciliation process, and that's being generous. It's just how things are. Republicans voted against the third stimulus check package, so if no Republican wanted the stimulus the third time, why would they want it for the fourth time? Almost every Democrat wants more stimulus. Now, the real question is, when will it be finished and what will be inside? Will there be a fourth stimulus check? Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, Democratic Representative Pramila Jayapal, and many Democratic senators are also in favor of monthly stimulus checks. The general rule here is that most Democrats vote together and most Republicans vote together. The third stimulus check package was just like that. Joe Manchin likes to grandstand by saying,
yeah, okay, we know that the Republicans was thinking about pulling their funding for the stimulus packages and even unemployment. The Republicans didn't want to pay, but the Democrats were thinking about using only Democratic funding.
Because Democrats are unable to pass any bills through the reconciliation process, which is the process by which they use to pass the third stimulus check package, and most likely
hey, we're gonna cut off Facebook and YouTube because they keep freezing, honey.
The next stimulus package, the American
I just gotta get a better laptop than this because it don't run enough programs.